Then you
Sure.
go girl.
It's good.
Gotta put them on the wheel. Then you just stop driving.
Sure.
Nobody's on the so they put us down.
Yeah. Yeah. We can still do it. If we're just going to say we're going to take one point and go ahead, regardless of whether we have them or not, you can do it. If you listen to never scores, you're good.
Yeah. Then one, give it a chance. You can to score.
I'm not going to get splashed on that.
All right, T, you're on. Feeling it?
Yes, I'll.
Man.
Do you start down the middle?
Yeah.
No, but I think we'll do a side and then I don't know if you
Really?
Yeah, it's the slowest pace I've ever used. I never would have believed it. We used to double it. We did double it a little bit.
Yeah, like in the last year.
But man, I think there was a combination. Because Stacy threw the water and her throw was very broad, so there wasn't a lot of pebble to begin with. And I think I just scraped it back down.
Scraped everything off and stayed flat.
Yeah, and it just was like, no. The stone was like, no. Which sheet you opening? Hold on, see?
2 was went to the second thing, and 2 and 1's dropped to the third. Because you're not competing for your pool finish against teams in other pools. Yeah, you could be 2 and 1 and still end up in the end.
Possibly.
Yep. You can be 2 and 1 and end up in the third event.
Yep.
And we ran the testing, there was a 1 and 2 that went to the second. Because they were in a pool where they all were tied for second place. So this is the most important LS in the world. Thanks. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for the trip.
I threw a narrow stuff today. I'd rather be not throwing than tracking on. Yeah. I was just playing with compulsion. Yeah. It was just hard because it was like, sure, that was middle of the 8th foot. It's so, the first time I saw it, you're, I think it's hard for us. Well, I guess hopefully this one will be
All right, we'll get them. You were on A, you on A your first game as well? That's a little bit of an advantage. Yeah.
You have an aspiration for the
Like that's, you can take you.
yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know how to use that. I think I can do that.
It's red.
I'd rather play the
I like to feel chill a little bit.
Laura telling me that a lot of those super teams have to shake out because of firewalls. A lot of people use outside super players. I mean, based on what I did this morning, I don't know if that means. So, you're very critical to strong
I heard that. Okay. It got better. Or better and then last few months. Yeah. It's fine. I went to PT, so I got like a bunch of stretches and go and shit that I do with like flaring up. So no one yes, it was a guess, yeah. It's okay. Yeah. Like it was a 39, so it's like
Your numbnuts are already out of here.
oh yeah. I guess we're flip. What? We're on flip. Going flip? I was like asking right there. I guess. I was hammer. flipping over here on this side.
It's time shots out there, isn't it? I've been on there practicing on my own. I've been doing that with people. It's a lot of talking. It's not really nice.
Watch when that power goes back on and then I'll get like some reverse.
We have hammer. Yeah, listen.
Fine, I guess work first. I mean, we'll let them do these practice slides and whatnot. They're red, we're yellow. What stones are we? We're yellow, right?
Right in the center. It's hard negotiating hammer.
Yeah, you know what?
You're joking, but I thought about it.
Hello and welcome to the Nutmeg Curling Club for the 2026 Francis Dykes Memorial Bonspiel. It's 5 and under weekend here in the GNCC. We've got the Dykes here and at Ardsley, half and half at each club. And at the same time, the 5 and under women in the GNCC are down at Triangle in North Carolina, playing for their championship as well. This is the second game for all these teams. They started out this morning. And for most of the draw, I'm going to be focusing on Sheet C. So you're going to hear the commentary turn off on A and B for a bit, but I'll come back every couple ends, give you an update on what's going on across the sheets. On Sheet A, we have Alex R. at a Nutmeg playing the Lutz Rink from Nittany Valley. Both in the Maroon group, both 0-1, so both looking for their first win of the event in this game. On Sheet B, we're looking at Burkhart out of Albany against Hughes out of Schenectady. Those two teams playing in the orange bracket. Burkhart 1-0, Hughes 0-1. And in our feature game on Sheet C, Wright out of Broomstones playing Parham out of Triangle. Both 1-0 in that maroon bracket. Winner will go to 2-0, take control heading into the final pool play game, which for these teams I believe will be tomorrow. At the end of the pool play, each pool 4 teams. The teams will be divided up into the 4 brackets, A, B, C, and D, based on their standing, after which it's single elimination. So these 3 games are going to decide what trophy these teams are playing for, and after that, they will be on their way to their brackets. Larry Bakary on site, taking care of everything here in the warm room. All right, so if you're on A and B, I'm going to let you listen to the on ice audio, and for those on C, we'll get into some commentary in just a second. All right, in our feature game on Sheet C, looks like the Parham rink out of Triangle started with the hammer. A couple guards in play, both a little bit off the center line. And Wright coming around here, looking to sit one early, force the action back to the center. And they get that one in there, top of the forefoot, pretty good. Open, available, and probably edge to edge against that guard. So we'll see how these teams feel out the ice. I guess neither one played on C this morning, though I don't know that for sure. And the sheets can play a little differently here, as at most clubs, so might be a little bit of a feeling out process here in the first end or two. As I said, both these teams with a win, though, so they're looking to go to 2-0. If they go to 2-0, they will most likely book their place in one of the top 2 events. This one looks like it's over curling. Yellow looking to play a hit here. Gonna just peel the guard. They can move the guard as long as they don't remove it, because that was not on the center line. And effectively get it out of the way there. Opening up that rock end with yellow holding the hammer here. A good result. Opens up half the sheet for a draw or an open hit on that red later to get their 1 potentially. Still a long way to go, though. Second here for Team Wright, gonna look to bury one behind those I shouldn't say corner guards, just off center guards on the left of your screen. Certainly could get behind the yellow and be full 4-foot, which would be a pretty effective rock, give them a good chance to steal here. Looks like this one's running a little straight. Weight's pretty close, but it doesn't look like it's gonna get behind the guard at all. That's gonna come in right to the top 4. Very nice weight, but it is open and accessible for the triangle team here, and they're gonna look to get rid of it right away. Maybe even get a roll behind those guards and look to set up a deuce here. Nice hit and roll, leaves them right in front of that red rock. Red is sitting 1. Won't be trivial to get rid of that yellow rock, although they will try, especially this early in the end if they lose the backing. Keep them out of danger early without hammer here. Well, now they're looking at just drawing, looks like. You can also sit 2 here with a good draw. Sure enough, with the handle they're taking, yes, they're going to try to get under those guards again. Sit 1-2. Needs to be pretty good because that yellow run is about a foot. They're not going to have trouble running that yellow back into the red and sitting 2 if this isn't a counter. Weight looks pretty close again. This one does have a little more. They have thrown this line a few times. It is sailing a bit. It's going to go to the back 12. May even get through. No, hangs on in the back. How's it going? Hangs on in the back, and now there's definitely some potential here with the hammer for triangle with yellow. They're going to look to bury one first, leave that little tap for later. Not a bad idea. It's not going to be so simple to get rid of that yellow rock, and whenever you want to play it, that foot run back is very makeable. This one gets a bit outside. Let's see what the weight's like. They can do a few different things with this. They don't want to leave it as a guard in front of those 2 rocks, that's all. Anything else they'll be able to use. And this one is coming into the house. A little bump, and they are sitting 1-3. If anything, they've bumped it even more straight in front of that red rock and even closer. Maybe a 6-inch run now. And red without hammer has to be a bit careful here. You could just hit the yellow to limit potential damage to the open yellow, of course, not the one in front of your red. You can be more aggressive, and nope, we had a little trip on the hack. Looks like everyone's okay. They could be looking to pick that yellow, even if they lose their back red also. That yellow rock in front of the red is a very dangerous stone. Based on the line they're calling, but this is a bit outside, actually quite a bit outside. Should move enough to get rid of the second yellow counter. But will it jam on the back red? Oh no, we got a jam on the back red. That leaves yellow still setting 2nd, 3rd, and it may be time to make that play on the yellow red. No, they're going to take their time. Very good patience being shown here. At this point on Rock 6, you do have to worry at some point that Broomstones will change gears. Very likely on there. And of course, I have the... Well, that changes everything. They didn't put the hammer up correctly on the board. Looks like red started with hammer. This makes more sense now. Yeah. All right. Still, I would like the little tap, and that's what they end up playing. Yep, sitting 1-2 now. Even without hammer for yellow. Makes sense to sit 3 here. I mean, they sat 2, which you would have, if you're going to move the red, you'd rather have gotten it completely out. With red having hammer, you know, that red rock could come back to count at some point in the end. Broomstones looking to throw the double here. Rock coming in, it's close. It will jam on the back. And the red rock rolls far enough that it is 4th counter. Yellow probably doesn't have to worry about that one coming back into play at this point. And they're just going to try to use that slightly off center guard. Bury a rock. Put some pressure on the right rink early. If you can get one under there, not only are you setting up a strong threat to steal for 1, but a little bit of pressure with, 4 yellow counters in there. Granted, the other 3 are all in the 12-foot, but you never know, especially in the first end, forcing someone to make a draw against 4 can be a dangerous spot. Triangle skip here. Brian Parham looking to bury this rock around that yellow guard. Sweepers are on it early. Line looks okay. They may be going for weight. It's got room to curl still. Line is getting better though, even if they can bury a part of it. Not too bad, although it looks like it might be a little big. Nope, coming right to the top of the button. About half buried, maybe a little less than half, but about half, maybe, yeah, just under half buried. Certainly not making it easy for Team Wright here in the first end. First skips rock away here for Broomstones. Looks like they're playing something a little down weight here, getting a little aggressive. Now, the good news for them is they still have the most of the button open, most of the 4-foot, and a draw anywhere in touching the 8-foot, half in the 8-foot, would cut yellow down to 1 right now. And this red rock coming in, the weight was great. It may end up being the counter, not quite, but sits 2nd. And if you are triangle, I think you just get rid of that sit 5 and make them do some work on their last rock. No reason to leave the possibility of a 2 around. If you played any type of guard here, there is that red guard on the left that could be run in for 2. It's a little angle run, but it's not that long. I think even if you were going real hard for the steal here, you probably have to do something about this red rock, which only has to be moved a few inches in order to count. So hit. Probably ideal is a little roll to the left there, get maybe under the guard again. But if you nose it, it's going to make it hard for Broomstones to score here. Final rock away. A little tight. Sweepers are going hard. Should make contact with the rock. Going hard to keep it on line. Probably hitting just inside a nose. This should be just fine. That is an excellent stone. Freezes it, corner frozen, right to that yellow rock that was already in the 4-foot. So they've got 2 sitting on the 4-foot, 1 half in the button. And not going to be an easy shot to score here for our Broomstone skip. Dylan Wright. And with that broom, it actually looks like they're going to play the hit, which may be a very smart play here. If you can safely hit the top yellow, remove the second yellow, give up one, you move on, you live another day. Not a big deal to give up a steal of one in the first. And Dylan Wright's rock away. Sweepers are off. Looks like it's coming in okay. I think they're going to get what they want here. Probably would not be sweeping to curl, actually, because you want to hit this pretty strong. You don't want to hit this light. I think the weight's not there to move anything, but it will at worst sit third. That's what they're going to get. Really ended up being more of a draw down to it, which means the steal of 2 for Triangle and Team Parham. They'll take a 2-0 lead after 1. Broomstones will retain the hammer. On sheet A in the first end, looks like Nutmeg took 2 to take a 2-0 lead after starting with the hammer. And on sheet B, they have yet to hang the score. Score incoming. 2 for Team Burkhardt out of Albany. Mikey Hope here working hard at the Bonspiel this weekend. I think Mike would get on with me, but his voice is failing him this week. We saw a little bit of that on Tuesday night in our competitive league, but he's working hard here, doing a lot of work for this Bonspiel. This is a Bonspiel. We've got 24 teams here at Nutmeg. There's 24 more at Ardsley. A ton of volunteers at both clubs putting this together for what is traditionally one of the biggest Bonspiels of the year in the GNCC. I know the Childs down in Triangle has another 24 teams, so the 5 and unders are definitely out in force this weekend out here on the East Coast. Both events, to the best of my knowledge, are also serving as qualifiers for the 5 and under nationals, so the winners of the Dykes and the Childs will punch their tickets to 5 and under national, which is a very exciting event for newer curlers. 24 of the best 5 and under teams in the nation facing off for a national title. So best of luck to everyone here and down in Triangle, trying to get that berth. All right. Second lead rock coming in here for Triangle. Looks like they're going to get this one. Will they get the rings are just a tight guard? Either one is probably fine. After taking 2 in the first, they are going to bring it in for a biter and sit 2. Probably not looking to go fully defensive after just 1 end and taking 2. But at the same time, even that much of a lead, even that early, getting a 2-point lead means you can be much happier if rocks come in the house. You don't have to, press hard for a steal or anything. You definitely don't need a center guard with a 2-point lead. So I'm sure they're fine with where those rocks ended up. Top one gets chipped here. Gonna stick around on the edge of the 12-foot, I believe. They're trying to sweep it out. Nope, that's gonna be in by about an inch. So yellow sitting 2, and while those rocks are not great for a steal, and I probably wouldn't throw up a corner guard, but that's what they're gonna do. I mean, they're gonna guard that. It's not the worst steal rock in the world. It's at least in the full 8-foot, so, you can make, so if you can keep that rock guarded the entire end, maybe you can force Broomstones to make a draw, full 8. But at the very least, having those 2 rocks so far apart, you're in pretty good shape to force, if nothing else here, early in the end. We've got a Paul Douglas, I think, joining us on the mic here. Paul Douglas, a recent 5 and under graduate. I believe you played at a national championship one year, did you not?
I played twice.
Twice
actually.
at the national
I
championship.
did.
Wow. Very
yeah.
exciting.
So in my
bookended my first year with John Corelli,
Oh, right.
Jake
right.
Ness, and Brian Glatzel. We went to Wausau. In January, we landed. It was 10 below zero, and that was a lot of fun. We won the Cool Duck at Ardsley
Yeah.
that year, and then my 5th year won the Cool Duck again with Nate Holm
Nate, yeah.
and Brian Camus and Stephen Dulski, and then we went to Chaska.
Oh, nice. Love Chaska.
That was a lot of fun. It was a great time.
Don't think I've ever played at Wausau, but I have played at Chaska. It's a great club.
Yeah, it really is. So,
We're commentating on Sheet C right now. That's
Excellent.
our feature game. 2 1-0 teams. That'll be Wright out of Broomstones and Parham out of Triangle.
and Triangle.
Up
So
2-0.
2 excellent clubs with great ice.
Yes. He said Triangle hosting the other 5-0 this weekend.
What do they call that one?
The Childs, Elizabeth Childs.
Oh, right, obviously. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Do we at Nutmeg have any teams that went down to the
Oh, we do.
trials?
We have 2, I believe. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I don't want to say for sure who's on the other team. I do know one team is Sarah Trejo, Lauren Powers, Sarah Uvino, and Hannah Swersky
Excellent.
on one team, and I don't want to speculate on the other team and get it wrong.
So it looks like we got a hit game going on here in the second end.
Yeah. Yellow, the Triangle team, threw their first couple rocks in, and we've been kind of hitting back and forth. Yeah, not a great steal setup, but pretty good for a force after stealing 2 in the first. They'll be pretty happy. Scoreboard's a little wrong. It says yellow had hammer in the first. They did not. It was red. Yellow stole 2. And a little hit and roll, but it is going to be wide open. Really nowhere to hide for red this end.
No,
with
I
hammer.
played the sheet on Tuesday, and on the wall side, it's fairly straight. It doesn't
Yeah.
really want to move too much. So it's going to come down to which skip figures out the ice more quickly, perhaps. But
Yeah, isn't that always the way? At most club ice is going to be like that. They're going to. I don't think these teams played on C earlier, so they're both going to be figuring it out.
so all 3 sheets, for those that are, because it's a single viewing, all 3 sheets are 2-0 after one end, after the first end. They all are out there.
Yeah.
So
Oh, they
So-
did fix the hammer. So yeah, I think the hammer took 2 in the other 2 games. This one we had to steal it 2. Yeah. So yeah, not much to comment on so far in this end. We're gonna get another open hit here.
So do we have biographies on any of these?
I don't have
players?
any biographies. I have some names.
Because it's always nice to know what year some of these players are in.
Yeah. Maybe for the late draw, I'll try to do that for one of the games. Get some info. Get some intel.
Just curious how many viewers we have.
Oh, I can't tell from here. I can. I mean,
Yeah.
I might be able to bring it up in our browser.
We so for those that are new to curling, hopefully you watched lots of it at the Olympics because it was televised pretty much every day.
Looks like we have 8 viewers.
Excellent. And so there was a lot of curling that was on the TV the last few weeks, and very high level quality of curling. And so some of the shots that are called at this level, they're going to call a little bit different.
Yeah, you're going to see
A
a
little
little
more
simpler.
conservative.
Yeah, a little simpler style of play. We're not going to take as many risks, and we're not going to be calling as many doubles and triples. And unfortunate flash there. Good news for red is that the center of the ice is wide open with hammer.
No guards. Right.
They should be able to get their 1 here, and this is not critical.
So I've never curled at Triangle. I've heard it's a great club with it's a pretty robust, kind of younger program as well, I guess.
I think that's about right. I've been there once, I want to say.
Isn't that where Michael Parker went? Or did he go to Potomac? right?
Potomac, yes.
Right,
He went
okay.
down to Potomac.
All right. And then
triangle is in the Raleigh-Durham area, is
Yes,
that correct?
correct. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so they are in the Research Triangle there, and one of 2 clubs there in North Carolina, at least one of 2 dedicated clubs, because you have the Charlotte Club as well.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte also playing host to U.S. Nationals right now.
The Bojangles Arena.
At the Bojangles Arena.
The leaky roof.
Yeah, they had a rain
Bojangles.
delay today, if anyone didn't know. That was
An indoor arena had a rain delay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I have a rain delay story like that. 2015, for one of my clients, I'm a freelance writer, I covered the World Series of Poker for a few weeks. Went out there, did a lot of events, and they had a rain delay. Because if you haven't spent time in the summer in Vegas, it's dry, and then a storm comes in for like an hour where it's as pouring rain as you've ever seen. And sure enough, yeah, water was coming down on people's tables, and they're trying to play, and in one of the ballrooms. In a poker tournament, you can't have like all the tables but 2 playing, so they had to stop the tournament.
The sweepers are hard on this. Looks like they're trying to bring it to count for a 4th rock right now. And so it's pretty wide open for red. Looks like he's calling for just a draw down and corner to that.
I was about to say that's the shot here, because it's you're not at risk again of giving up a steal as long as you make your last draw, and this gives you a shot for 2. You can get to the inside of that rock.
It is a fairly precise shot.
It is, yes. It's not an easy deuce, but there's very little risk to throwing it.
But if you want to score 2, this is the way you have to do it.
Absolutely.
So we are at Skip Rocks. Right? This is the first Skip Rock.
Yeah, this will be the first Skip Rock for Broomstones, for Dylan Wright.
I'm familiar with that name, so I'm thinking he has curled for more than a couple of years, I believe.
Maybe he was in there as you were
it's possible,
at the end, yeah. Looks fairly experienced from the way he, watching him slide, watching him call the game. So I wouldn't be surprised.
It's a good line.
It's going to get pretty close here. It might come up a little short, but if it does, at least, again, reducing danger if it'll get in there.
Okay, sitting second rock right now. So
sitting second, and makes yellow throw something, because if yellow did nothing here, you'd probably get your deuce by, it's not easy, but you can probably keep that red around if you bumped red into yellow.
So what is an interesting thing here for ours? We don't have as much curl on our ice as, say, a Broomstones does.
True.
Broomstones can get as much as 6 feet of curl, and right now our ice is running 2 feet, maybe.
Depends. No, I think more than that in most spots, but it depends where you are. Yeah, I would say it's probably around 3 feet, which is 2.5 to 3, depending on where you are on the ice. Some places more off the center line, especially. But so it's an adjustment, of course. Yeah.
And I don't know how fast it's running. I don't know, but I believe it's typically it's a little slower ice than other ice we played on.
Yeah, that's going to be more dependent on where you go, because the speed at least has been pretty good the last couple weeks here. Yeah, but I think it is running somewhat straight. Speed should be pretty okay. We've had to work hard to get the ice up to reasonably good condition, because next door, which controls.
Okay, so this is an interesting call now for Broomstones. Do they try and nose their red?
Yeah, I think you take this on.
Because if they do, they could score 2 here,
could
right?
Score 2.
I mean, they don't need
never
to throw,
risking giving up more than 1. There's no way to lose both reds and not.
Right, they just need to throw like backline weight, maybe hack, right?
Yeah, I'd probably throw. You pretty much got to get that yellow out. So you do have to throw probably hack to board to make sure the yellow goes. Because you're going to be, one of your rocks is not going to be very, very much into the rings. Yeah. They are going to go for it, because
I like this shot.
I do too. There's no reason not to play for 2. You can miss this by kind of just wicking off your red and get 1 anyway, or if it overcurls off the yellow on the outside, you could get your 1. So a lot of ways to get 1, and gives you a chance for 2 to tie up the game.
So we're at Skip Rocks on all 3 sheets. And we have a hammer shot coming up here on B. All right.
Yeah, looks like a pretty big score there on B. Well, yellow's is going to be drawn.
All right, so they're going to hit this one out and score 1. It's going to spill. So they scored their 1.
Enough to move that yellow, get their 1 point. It's 2-1 lead for triangle after 2.
So if I was triangle, I'd be happy with that, a force.
Absolutely. Right until skip rocks, that's kind of what it was looking like. You know, you didn't really have much of a chance to steal there, based on the way the end played out. But you took 2, and you basically got the hammer back, while gaining a point, because you started without hammer, and now you're getting to start a 6-end game with hammer up 1. When we get the scores up for the other 2, and I will broadcast out to all 3 sheets and update on all the.
It looks like Nutmeg stole in the second.
Yeah, they're definitely throwing first again. It was either they. Yeah, there were a lot of rocks in play, so I don't think it was a blank. So, yeah. See when they put the scores up. Yep, it was 2 more indeed.
Wow. Okay.
So 4-0 for Nutmeg there on A.
Right, and Alex Radicek, he lost a tough one in his first game this afternoon. So he's looking to even it up and go 1-1.
Yeah, the 2 1-0 teams are in this game on C. The 2 0-1 teams on A. So, both important for different reasons. Looks like yellow got that in there for 1.
They did.
Good
Very
draw.
nice.
All right, all across the 3 sheets. Here's your update on all the scores on sheet A. After 2 ends, we've got a 4-0 lead for Nutmeg over the Lutz Rink out of Nittany Valley. Sheet B, we just saw a beautiful draw from the Hughes team. Schenectady to get on the board. It is Albany 2, Schenectady 1 with Albany going to have the hammer in the 3rd. And a nice shot from Dylan Wright here on sheet C in our feature game to get a point in the 2nd. Making it 2-1 triangle. Triangle will have the hammer up 2-1 here in the 3rd. If you want full game commentary, we've got that on C, and we'll be back with more updates for the other sheets as well.
So the 5 and under curling has really taken on a life of its own in the last few years. It was when they first, came into its own about probably 8 or 9 years ago, I guess, right? Maybe 10 years ago.
The national championship?
Right. Well, and that's when it really began to really take on, I think.
Oh, I mean, before the national championship existed, I played in a dikes that was 56 teams. It's not like,
Right,
yeah.
but I mean, in terms of, now you're seeing teams with uniforms.
Oh yeah, the teams are really worried about the competitive aspect of it a little
Right.
more, of course. Yeah, so at least some of the teams. Yeah,
and it makes me wonder if the 10 and under will become a bigger, if you start to see more events of 10Us as well.
Yeah, there's the one in Schenectady I know of.
Yes, that's an excellent event.
No, people
run
have had
really
a lot
well.
of fun
It's
there.
lots of fun. Usually very competitive teams there. I played in that a couple of times.
Awesome. After
graduating out, I was an unusual combination of 5 and under and a senior.
Yeah, you get some. I think one of our Nutmeg teams is mostly at this event this year.
Doesn't happen too often.
No, but you don't get too many. And you had some curling experience of a type, not of actually playing. You knew of the game. Your son had played for a little bit.
So
yeah,
there's a fellow out of Schenectady, I think, is where he is now. Jim Meinhold. Some of you viewers might, if you have any Schenectady, Albany viewers here. So he was responsible for running a high school kind of intramural program, and then I have 3 sons, and they all got involved in it. It got to be close to 20 years ago now, and so I watched a lot from the warm room.
Yeah, sure.
And then after they went off to school and was looking for something to do, I said, well, let me try curling. So now I wish I had gotten on the ice, when they were doing it, just because it's so much fun and lifetime sport.
Absolutely. I think a lot of us wish we had started a little or a lot earlier than we did, but I don't think anyone regrets.
And Jim was here for the Golden Handle.
He was, yes. We had a team of 3 former Nutmeg presidents out of 4. Jim and all right, blanking on names now. I know who else was on the team, and now I can't think. But yeah, we had 3 former Nutmeg presidents on that team. Again, another pretty open end. We have not seen a lot of rocks in play in this
No,
game.
it's really, which is, it's interesting. It took me a while to learn this, but there's the importance of the lead position and being able to put the guards up to set up an end properly to be able to,
Sure.
with hammer, to be able to score more than one. And so you'll notice as this weekend goes on, the teams that have strong front end play are going to go deep.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, sometimes overlooked by new curlers. It's absolutely critical, and yeah, they've gotten at least half that rock half buried. So Broomstones was a pretty decent setup here to start the end. And Triangle just going to start looking to clear, and maybe a couple options here. I mean, if you make a double, that's great. If you hit and you roll on, you at least put some pressure on, because now you're sitting second with hammer. So you're probably going to hit somewhere near nose. This either makes the double or sticks around.
Well, they're trying to hold the line, so
It's pretty close.
looks pretty good. I think that's
the double.
That's a very nice double.
Yeah,
really
very
well
nice
done.
shot.
And it is not a guard; it is just
No, it
biting
is
the
biting,
top of the
so,
house.
yeah.
But that's an excellent shot for yellow.
Was that the second for Triangle there? Brian O'Donnell, I believe. Yeah.
Brian O'Donnell.
Yeah. We have the Triangle names right in front of us.
We do.
The Broomstones names are like 10 feet to my left, unfortunately.
Such completely changes the end, and now it's becoming a hit game at this point. They're just going to trade rocks and then see who blinks.
Yeah, if everyone makes their shots, there's a good chance we end up with a blank here. Although, as you start to get these corner guards and you have hammer, you might, just try to go around instead of hitting. And that one rolling to the corner.
So we're competing with the U.S. National Championships that are happening as we speak as well.
Very true.
And so there's some exciting curling that's going on. That is in
Charlotte.
In Charlotte.
Yep.
And at the Bojangles, right? And so there's some excellent curling there. And there are clubs some of the clubs that are represented right here.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Right,
yeah,
that are out there curling, right?
Yeah, I have quite a few friends on both sides there playing in it, which is very cool to watch. We have one member from Nutmeg, Susan Dutt, who's playing with Team McMakin. We've got 2 Staperas, Megan and Andrew, both playing.
Yeah, brother
both
and
skipping
sister
teams.
playing, and they're out of Ardsley.
Out of Ardsley, yep.
Which is where the men's skip for the Olympics was out of.
Yes. Danny Casper played out of there. I'd have to check if anyone from... Oh, well, I know at least one Broomstones member. She's still there. I mean, Libby Brundage, who used to curl here and curled at Broomstones.
Actually, we got a shout out.
Oh, did we?
When Libby was delivering, they mentioned Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Hey, all right.
Nutmeg, so.
That's good.
So curling's a great community.
Absolutely.
And, because it's, once those that are known well, the John Schuster et al., right, that are known well out there in the curling community, once they step out of that very, very, narrow limelight, they're just unknown by the most of society, right?
Yeah.
And so they're accessible people.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right, just have conversations with, and they're not, and so, which is it's really neat. In fact, John Schuster was at our club just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago for when he was doing some in-studio commentary work for the Olympics, which the in-studio work and most of the commentary comes out of Stamford,
Connecticut.
So he was looking to practice. I know he stopped at Ardsley as well. He came here. He was looking to practice, found out there was a junior spiel, so he came by for the evening and
what was cool is that he was here during our neon spiel.
Yes.
Which, for those folks that are out there, if you get a chance, go to the Nutmeg website and YouTube and put in the Nutmeg neon spiel, which we have black light, and when we put our ice in, we paint the perimeter of each one of the rings with a paint that reacts to the blue light, and so or the black light, excuse me, and so when we turn the lights off, put the black lights on, it all just glows in there. And then they put glow sticks on the rock handles and the broom handles, and then they curl in that environment. It's really cool.
Yeah.
The kids absolutely love it.
Oh, it's wonderful. And if you follow John on social media, he took a picture out there.
Yeah.
I heard him, or someone saying he's going to try to bring that back to Minnesota with him and see if anyone will maybe be interested in.
And we had around 8 or 9 different clubs represented with junior curlers that came out for the neon spiel. So.
Yeah. Just a little bit extra work with our ice prep beginning of the year, but it's a lot of paint that shows up under the LED lights, and then use glow sticks and like brightly colored tape and stuff. It all shows up great in there. It's amazing.
Very cool.
Have you ever gotten to play?
My kids did, and so I
Okay.
helped to run,
Yeah.
and volunteered.
One year at the Golden Handle, we actually went out there and did a adult neon. I've done it with when I used to coach the Yale kids. We did it once at the end of the year too, just set it up. So it is fun. It's quite the experience.
So there is very different houses shaping up. On C, we have just the pretty open house.
Yeah, one
and
guard.
then on B, it seems like every rock practically is in play.
Yeah, and same with
And
A.
same on A. Very, very different houses the way they're shaping up.
Yeah, you will see very different styles of play at 5 and under level between different teams. If you end up with 2 teams that like to hit and will keep things keep things clean, you can get some low-scoring games. You can also get some wild ones.
Right. So for those that are new to curling that are listening, the scoring is fairly straightforward. The colored rings have absolutely nothing to do with the scoring itself, other than if you have to be touching paint, the blue paint, or toward the center in order to be eligible to score. But there's no sort of 2, 3, 4, 5 point difference or whatever. It's just whichever rock at the end of the play of each end, whichever colored rock is closest to the center gets the score, and then if 2 of the same colored rock are closest to the center or the button, 2 points, etc. And then they will relinquish the hammer to the non-scoring team, and then they get to throw the last rock in the next end. So it does not alternate unless scoring
Alternates
happens in each
by scoring, not by every end.
but
Yeah,
not by every
yeah.
end, right? So those are. I got a lot of phone calls during the Olympics from friends, and hey, you're a curler, because we talk about curling
Of course.
all the time as curlers, and so they were a lot. I am watching this, but I have no idea what's going on. Please explain it to me. So, which of course, as curlers, we're more than willing to talk about the sport, but
For the gold medal game in the Olympics, of the gold medal game for mixed doubles, I had a stream running on my YouTube channel, Chess on Ice, where I put up a strategy board and just gave commentary, because a lot of people either they didn't want to pay for Peacock or whatever. But like I'd say, like it seemed like for the chat, like half people were very, we're not curlers. We're just we got about 400 people at peak,
Wonderful.
watching. And oh yeah, so I answered the same questions over and over again. It was fine. I had no problem with that. We don't mind teaching you
not
over.
at all. Yeah, we will evangelize our sport as often as
Absolutely.
possible. All right, so we have a hammer rock off here by
let's-
Triangle, and it looks like a nose hit for.
That'll just be a nose hit for 1, which is fine.
For
No,
one.
no harm done there. Could blank, but especially with the lead, getting your 1, you're up 3-1.
Right.
You're happy there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul, I'm going to put you on by yourself for a minute.
Okay.
I'll be back. Enjoy the dulcet tones of Paul Douglas.
So, all right. So we have sheet C has completed the third end, and A and B are just a couple of rocks away. I'll give you the scoring of those ends when they complete. So we have triangle up 3-1 on Broomstones and going to the fourth end. And they're looking to put up a center guard. And that would be the strategy, but it looks a little bit heavy. That's why the sweepers are leaving it alone, hoping that it will put the brakes on and end up outside of the rings, but it is not. So that is a free rock available to be hit should the skip for Broomstones choose to, but he's playing a more traditional strategy of a corner guard and leaving that alone for now.
I stopped timing his. What do you get?
The idea here is to put up a nice guard, and even though it's a circle, they call it it's a circle inside of a square, if you will, and so they will put up a corner. You'll see where he has his broom placed, and hoping to get some more curl on this rock to get it away from the center line as much as possible. And that's more of a center line guard than anything else. So Triangle would like to guard their shot. And if they can do that, because of the free guard zone, the first 5 rocks have to be played before you can remove a rock from the guard area. You can promote it into the house or move it to the side, providing it's not touching the center line. If it's touching the center line, you cannot remove it from the center line lest it gets put back and the offending rock gets removed from play. And so the weight on this guard is very nice. Just unfortunately didn't curl enough. It is just peeking out. And so Broomstones has the option here to try and remove that without too much risk of removing that yellow guard that was just thrown. So the call is to just move that back a little bit. And weight looks good. Line looks good. Looks like it's going to hit and roll toward the center. It'll stay in the house. It'll be open for a hit, but that's a nice rock. Nice rock by Broomstones. Well done. Okay, so on sheet A, Nutmeg stole again. They stole 3, so it is 7-0 Nutmeg on sheet A, and I believe it's an. It looks like an. I'm not sure who the club, their opponent. I apologize, I don't know that. On A. Nittany Valley. So Nittany, I'm assuming that's Pennsylvania, somewhere in the center, maybe near Penn State, something like that. So it's 7-0 Nutmeg over Nittany Valley. On sheet B, Red has scored on B, which would be Albany. Burkhart, Team Burkhart. They are up 3-1 over Schenectady. Oh, it's an Albany-Schenectady matchup. Sister clubs, not far from one another. So they probably know each other well. My first Dykes in 2019, either 18 or 19, I forget, was co-hosted between Albany and Schenectady. That was interesting. Albany has 2 sheets, I believe, but the better warm room. Schenectady has more sheets, but in my opinion, the warm room maybe not quite as nice as Albany's, but between the two of them, it was a very nice, nice spiel. So It's like a nice rock coming down. The sweepers are leaving this alone. A very, very nice rock by Triangle. That's going to roll under, but be exposed a little bit. So what does Broomstones do here? Does he peel guard? Does he leave them alone? There's no true center guard specifically. So it looks like he's going for a draw underneath his own red guard. Looks like the call. Sweepers are leaving this alone. They probably think the weight's a little bit heavy or just right, but certainly not light. Opposing teams cannot sweep their opponent's rock until it reaches that T line, which is the line that bifurcates the front and the back of the circle. So you have to wait until it crosses that T line, and then it's in what's called the back of the house, and then the opposing team can sweep the opposing rock. They can sweep their own rock anytime they'd like, but the opposing rock, they have to wait opponent's rock until after it crosses the T line. This rock looks a little bit light. It's going to serve as a guard, and I don't think. Wow, this is a conundrum here. A little bit for Broomstones. Looks like he's going to call for a hit on that rock on the outer 8 foot, and then look for a roll underneath those guards. If it's executed, it's a great shot because it'll be guarded well. Sweeper's trying to hold the line. It's definitely going to take the rock out. Will they get any roll, though? No, it nosed it, but it was very close. You know, the margin for error is very, very slight on a nose hit or you know, hit and then a roll, a movement, either left or right. It's only a matter of an inch or sometimes less than an inch where it hits on the rock to get that action, that movement. It's not a lot. So Triangle, they're looking to hit, and that rock unfortunately was just thrown a little bit wide. Call that a flash, and that was unfortunate. So it looks like Broomstones is calling for a peel of that yellow guard, or maybe both of them, depending on how it hits. Trying to open things up, looks like. So that path in between those two yellow rocks is not very wide, so it is, unless he's, perhaps it's a guard. Maybe I just misinterpreted the broom placement. So it looks like Triangle is going to play some sort of maybe an angle raise or a straight draw to try and put their rock around that red-yellow combination guard high up on the center line and see if they can bury that. And I think the goal here is to put their stone on the 4 foot, which is the red circle, and be fully buried. The goal for Triangle here is to steal. That's really what they'd like to do. They'd like to score without hammer. off. This is the first skip rock. Generally, when a sweeper's running, it's not generally a good indication of weight. A little bit heavy, but if he catches a little bit of that rock, but he did not, probably just a little bit heavy. So if you watched the Olympics, you saw that there are 2 clocks. Probably noticed that each one, one per team, and then they alternate when the clock is running. And so each team responsible for their own time. In these events, it's 1 clock that runs, and it counts down. And then, so it's incumbent upon both teams to be, to be cognizant of the clock and be courteous to one another and not use up too much of the clock themselves in terms of just, the right spirit. In that way is to play with some speed and a good pace. And I think the teams are doing that now. It appears very well. Not a lot of thinking time. And the best thing you can do is to bank that time, is to play the first ends a little more quickly, and then it gives you some additional time in the later ends to do more thinking, and more strategy might be required. At least that's the conventional way that would be played. So we are at the last 2 rocks. We have triangle looking, it might be looking to hit that red and then maybe get a little bit of a roll. Just touch it just a little bit, call it a wick. So it takes some speed off and it redirects the rock just like that. Very nicely done. Very, very nicely done. It takes some speed off, and it directs the rock on the path that they want it to ultimately end up, and that was very nicely done. That we would consider that a team shot. That was thrown very well by the skip. The line call was great, by the vice, and then the sweepers manipulating the rock, holding the line or pushing it a little bit. That was a good team shot. So yellow is set up nicely for a steal here, and they were thinking potentially about running back that yellow that's just at the top of the 12-foot and trying to double, hit the shot rock that's on the red 4-foot, but it looks like they're going for a simple draw instead. I say simple, it's really not. But the idea here is that put the red rock just touching that little 1-foot circle, the button, or almost touching, and then score 1. That's the idea. The sweepers are not on it, which means they think the weight's either heavy or just right, but the hand up in the air is usually an indication it's heavy, And so it's going to sail through, and that will be a steal of 1 for Triangle. So at the end of 4, which is the midway point, Triangle 4 and Broomstones 1. So this game's far from over. It's only three points, which can be all scored in one end, really. If it, you know, it happens quite frequently. So this game is far from over. On A and B, we are down to skip rocks. I'll have that score for you shortly. So we have the hammer rock, which is the last rock thrown in an end, is off right now. And it looks like Nutmeg. They're waiting. Nutmeg just stole 4 against Nittany Valley in the 4th end. So Nutmeg has a commanding 11-0 lead after 4 ends on sheet A. Sheet B, they're still at the skip rock hammer rock has to be thrown, and looks like a straight draw for 2 for Team Burkhart out of Albany. And I take that back. Hughes from Schenectady has hammer, and so 1 more rock has to be thrown on B. But Hughes has his work cut out for him because he has to draw against 3 Albany rocks in the house that are currently scoring. So he has a tall order.
Sure. Yeah. I think that was really good. Yeah. If it was an easier shot, yeah. I got a difficult shot. The only reason I got to sit down So you'll notice here, watch what happens, is that I think they're at the, so there you see how the red rock just removed from play, and so so Triangle had the option to remove that offending rock from play, which they're doing now, and then replace the guard back on the center line. So, but that's the at the discretion of the skip for that was offended. They can either remove the other rock from play, or if they like where their rock ended up, they can just leave it there. In this instance, they removed from play.
So I was away for an end. Looks like we had another steal from Triangle.
And we had a major steal from Nutmeg on A.
Yeah, that game now 11-0 after 4.
Is this a point spiel, by the way?
No, it is not a point spiel. They will probably play a couple more ends to throw some rocks.
Sure.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. So.
But yeah, so we're just looking to peel, open things up a little bit. This might end up being a run.
It does. It looks like it's just going to miss.
Oh, that's the
Yeah, needed.
least good outcome because you don't want to leave the guard and not get the run. But down 3, fifth end, you could start thinking about not peeling and just trying to come around and use the guards to score. A little tricky because you're playing on the center line with hammer, but with that yellow rock behind the T line, there's definitely room to play in front of it.
Well, the call here is for a guard, or maybe top 12, but take that draw path away. And then you're forcing another peel, I believe.
Yeah, at this point, if you can guard your rock now, you'll pretty much be forcing a peel. Yeah, so I don't know. It's probably close on the far side as to whether you could get in front of that yellow rock, but a draw. But it's not an easy one. But that rock hangs out a little bit. Still room, and it looks like they are switching to coming into the house now, which makes some sense. Real quick, I'm going to give an update on. All right, let's give an update on the scores of all 3 sheets for those listening across the board. Sheet A, it's 11-0 Nutmeg after 4 ends. Alex R with a big lead over there. On sheet B, the Burkhart team out of Albany up 4-1 against Hughes out of Schenectady. 5-1. Thank you very much, Paul. Our feature game here on sheet C, though, is 4-1 in favor of the Triangle Curling Club. That's the Parham rank over Dylan Wright's team out of Broomstones. Broomstones with the hammer.
And then we have more action going on down at equal action happening at Ardsley as well.
You know what I like is that it's always going on at the same times too. So if you're at one club, you can watch the games at the other, or throw on 2 devices at home and watch as many games as you want to.
Right. Yeah, it's great.
I don't think we have any more Nutmeg teams playing down there tonight. They're done. I think the 2 teams both played in the last draw down there. Cooper won their game in a tight one.
They only played 1, but some of these teams here
they're now playing their second game.
Yeah,
and they're probably there too, starting, because I think it's basically the same format, same schedule. Right. So you have your first couple groups starting to play their second games tonight. Some teams will play just 1 tomorrow. Some teams, the teams that played 1 today, are probably playing 2 tomorrow. Yeah, for any Nutmeg members just watching, because it's a Nutmeg stream, I know that Team Cooper won their first game in a tight one.
Very tight.
Yeah, they had a tough faith end, but they held on to. They did enough they weren't going to lose, which was the key thing. As someone who's been coaching them a bit, that they did make. They were going to have to do a skips rock. It looked like, right. And then you got away with that.
Right, yeah. But being up 3 without hammer.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this from a strategy standpoint. Alex Cooper chose to throw through with both of their lead rocks. With only a 3 rock lead without hammer.
Yeah.
What's your thought on that?
So I talked to them about late game situations and said that in that very specific situation, it's up to them and their comfort level. High level curling, you will not see them throw through up 3 because of the 5 rock rule, because you can set up 2 corners.
Yes, which is exactly, by the way,
a 3 is in play, which kind of what happened.
Yeah, they did put 2 corners.
And of course, the 5 iron steals, there were misses on both sides, but that was the basic setup, is that they were able to get their 3. At club level, you can do it based on your preference. If you're a little worried that you might accidentally throw a center guard, you might not. What I might say, and maybe I'll even, if they're listening or if I talk to them, another option is to try to draw in on your first, because you can always you can peel your own rock on your second if you accidentally throw a guard.
Right.
You'll see that. That's what they tend to do at the high level. They try to stack 2 or even 3.
Does that not come up to, in some respects, trust for your second and vice being able to throw a high percentage of your hits?
Yeah, I think either strategy you call, you're basically banking on, unless you were going to play it like a normal end where you're going to, I should say normal end, like unless you're going to play it like a really aggressive end, even though you're up, we're going to throw a guard and go around, you're banking on your team being able to make at least a reasonable amount of hits.
Yeah.
And they did. They left an unfortunate late guard when they were trying. They could have either peeled or tried to get around.
And I know Brian was not happy about that.
And that's what ended up giving the 3,
right, you could,
the potential 3.
You could see in his reaction, he was.
Oh, it was his first rock as skip.
He was very
not
pleased with that, because not only did it hit the guard, but it replaced it as a guard, and that was certainly not a great situation.
Right. That was the one miss that really could have hurt them, and then
And I believe if Brian had that again,
9 out of 10 times he probably doesn't
Oh yeah,
do
and
that.
they probably called it a little differently to make sure you're, because they were nowhere near the run. I mean, you try to get it to split a little bit at least, but it was fine. And they were never, like I said, they were never really in danger of losing there, but they could have had to go to skip rocks, which is scary. And it's not the same as playing with an extra end where you're actually pretty okay. If you get into a little trouble, you're pretty okay. Give the 3 and take your chances.
And they don't publish or publicize the draw to the button to see, at the beginning. I think each team has to do that, right? They have to throw a couple of players, don't they have to throw
in this bonspiel?
On this bonspiel,
yeah, for
right?
tiebreakers, but they flip for hammer, but they do.
Yeah, what I mean is that
we don't know.
We don't know how they did.
Who had the edge?
with very little, quite a bit less pressure on you. Right?
Well, I can tell you going to the last rock, and it was in my head because I've been in that situation before.
Yeah.
The scary thing is the team with hammer drawing for their last point. They miss it, you win. But if they make it well, they just throw a really good draw and have to do it again.
Yes.
So you're going to have to throw a really good draw probably if they throw a really good one because they're going to probably do it again.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So they won. They'll keep moving on at 1-0. Eric Meany's team had a very close game too on the other sheet on sheet A. They were up 1 in the 7th and only played 7, but gave up a deuce.
Ouch.
To lose. But I mean, a very close game the whole way. But so
well, I play against them on Monday. They put a team in on our men's league on Monday to be able to get some experience.
That's great.
And so, which is great because the other skips and the other players are willing to give them lots of pointers, and as we broomstack afterward, they ask a lot of strategy questions. So it's been good experience for Eric and his team to play on our Mondays together, right? Because they have a few more years together, or at least another one anyway.
At least, and some of them are very new. I mean, so they have, some of them will play together for 3 or 4 years probably. Yeah. So we have rocks in play for a change.
Yeah, there are guards, there are rocks in play. It's a very different house than has been previous ends.
Broomstone set up well to get a deuce here at the very least. Looks like Triangle playing some defense here. They're gonna hit the rock on the outside and just start to limit the potential damage here.
And he will hit and spill, it looks like.
Yeah, just caught on the outside. Thankfully got it under the yellow rock in the back, so no worries of a jam. Getting texts about the draw. That's all.
Yeah, well, I think what it comes down to is in the text, and I'm not going to divulge what was said.
No.
But it does bring up an interesting question, which is from a etiquette standpoint, when you're in a bonspiel, when do you decide to shake hands and say, okay, so how does that work exactly?
It's tough. Like the bonspiel level is like very intermediate on that, because like a league night usually we want to play a few ends. We came down here to play for one game. At a bonspiel you have more ends. You have another game or 2 or 3 to play. I think they have at least one more round robin in a game.
Right.
So you could you can. It's going to come down to every team. I think very rarely in a bonspiel are you not going to play 6 ends.
Right. And the idea here is that no other games can start until all the games are off their sheet.
Right. So you're not holding anyone up. I would say
that would be my thought, right?
When you get to a tour level spiel, or event, like once you know you lost, you just get off the ice because you don't want to risk anyone getting hurt or anyone. Or
let's face
it. And you're
it.
playing for
If you watched how the Olympic level, how these sweepers, I mean, they're totally.
Yeah, you're
gassed.
also just let's keep let's just save our energy. Yeah. And even that's not 100% true. Like I mean, I've seen teams. If say it's your first game and you're getting beat real bad, you might stay out for a couple extra ends just to settle into the ice a little bit.
Right,
Saw that at Nationals once this week already. On the women's side, one team was down a lot. They played like 2 more ends because it's our first game. Let's try to work some stuff out.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at Skip Rocks on C here. Broomstones delivering what looks like a draw, but it's a little bit wide and a little bit heavy. And so
they do at least, again, they're going to have shots for 2. I mean, it looks like why not? I get what they're doing, what they're looking at here. Triangle looking at maybe there's an angle raise in to to get rid of that red rock, because there's no real other way to get rid of the red rock here. Yeah, I mean, you can do this. You could kind of leave things as they are. It's not an easy 2. You could guard the middle and dare them to draw for 2, but there are draw paths.
I mean, up 3, a force is
fine.
Is probably more than fine. You take hammer back.
Yeah, you're
up
very
2,
happy. Yeah.
In an even end, so that if things stay
at that
on.
point, yeah, with a lead of a couple points, you're not even worried about odd even. You're just we're up. Yeah, we're up 2 with hammer. You're in a dominant position.
So at the Nationals, there's a heavyweight matchup going on.
Ooh, what we got?
We have Schuster Stapera.
Oh, that's fun.
Playing one another, and so Andrew Stapera, he's the skip, and I guess he took over. He took over Corey Dropkin's
Basically,
team.
when Corey left,
right?
they really focused on doubles, and I don't know what's happening to that team beyond this year. But like he basically was like, well, I made the Olympics in doubles. I'm focusing on that, which paid off if you didn't see it.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, but so I think Stapera, basically took over the team. They added, I forget.
I mean, Corey Tisi played unbelievably out of her
wonderfully.
mind. Yeah,
but I don't know who.
wonderful.
And I know they picked up someone too on what was the Dropkin team analysis.
This is a nice draw right here.
So they did play it as a draw.
This is
instead.
Wow.
Whoa.
That was
not bad though. It does cut down the scoring area at least.
Shrinks it a little bit.
Yeah. At first, it looked like they were playing some sort of angle raise to get it out of there. That made a lot of sense. Just ran a little heavy. Yeah, I was going to look at the scores, but the games are just starting down there. And it was 7. It was supposed to be 7. I know they're running behind. Rain delay.
Yeah, it looked like a Houston Astros game up there. Garbage cans
there
everywhere.
Were enough yeah, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. They're never going to outlive that.
Oh, no.
Switching sports, it was very nice. I mean, we're Connecticut, so we're UConn people here. You're a Syracuse guy.
I am, but yeah.
But as a Syracuse guy, it must have warmed your heart to see St. John's lose the way they did.
I didn't watch that game at all, but then I saw the shot chart from the second half for St. John's. They made 2 shots in the entire second half.
They scored 14 points in the entire second half.
And they didn't make a shot in the last, 16 and a half minutes?
16 and a half minutes.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, that was total domination.
And that's not just good defense, because you get to 5 guys who played in high school out there, and they would make a couple
this is
shots.
a nice draw right here.
This is pretty good. This will be for 2.
Weight looks good.
Whoa,
he got a wick off the yellow. Look at this.
To slow it down.
That is really nicely done.
Hey, that's a deuce for Broomstones there.
Yeah.
Makes it a 4-3 game. and a wipe of the brow from Dylan there.
Yeah, that was, we gave him a thumbs up on that, because that was also an excellent line call by the Vice there. To play that little bit of a rub off the yellow to redirect it.
Make sure you get the backing, take a little bit of the weight off both, and it was perfect. Yeah.
So that's 2 ends in a row where I would call those hammer shots. Both were team shots. It happened in the 4th end, and then it happened again in the 5th end, where the rock was thrown well, the sweep was great, the line call was great. It was an excellent team shot. I love to see that, where everyone's involved in affecting the outcome of a rock or the end, as this had happened. So,
looks like we have a final on sheet A, because I think they're throwing their post game. Maybe not. Maybe they just mix things up. I'm not sure.
No, they are, because who you have in the house with the broom is not the Vice.
Sure. And the skip is throwing the rocks.
Yes.
But I was just curious, because I thought, they do it after the game. That's right. They do it after the game, of course. That's the thing. We don't know for the.
Right. So we have Team Nutmeg.
We talked about the Cooper thing. We wouldn't know, because they
victorious over Nittany Valley on sheet A.
Yeah, 11-1. Nittany Valley did get on the board in the last end, so good for them to go out on a good note. But yeah, they're throwing their last shot draws just for tiebreaker purposes now.
Sweeper's on it quickly.
Oh, you're commentating the last shot draw.
Yeah.
Come on, Alex, you got to hit the house. Oh no, that's short. Oh well, that'll be a max. That'll be a 73 incher, but that's okay.
So when I said that the game was far from over, this is why I said it, because you scored 2 with hammer in the 5th end, and now it's just a 1-point game with 3 ends to play.
Right back in the game.
This is anybody's game on sheet C, which it's always fun to, as a player or a spectator, it's more fun to play a tight game.
You want to watch a good tight game
Yeah, of
where
course.
the teams are very competitive with each other.
I mean, personally, as a baseball fan, I love a pitcher's duel.
Yeah.
Right. And so I don't mind a 1-0 game. We're great pitching, great defense.
Absolutely.
I love that. And so in this instance here, where it's close, I love to see that as well.
For sure.
Shots are made, strategy is executed.
Pretty solid, and execution good too. Yeah, this has been a pretty well played game. For a 500 game, it's a pretty high level game, I would say.
And that's no disrespect to the 500
No,
players.
no, not at all.
It's just they just don't have the level of experience.
I'm saying, this would be like you're just not going to get the same level of consistency on average.
Right.
The higher level 500 teams, the teams that are doing very well at these events are very solid teams, though. Yes, and people don't always expect that. Is more what I'm.
So
you're getting.
My first year with our 500 team, we went to it's called the His and Hers out of Bucks County.
Very good spiel. I've not gotten to play on that one, but I know that's
It's a great spiel on great ice. And just everything about it at Bucks County. It's a fantastic event. We were all first-year curlers. Right? We had just completed it.
Sure.
It's a summertime spiel, for those that don't know. And so we had completed our first year curling as a team, and we went down and we played. And we played a team had over 100 years combined curling experience.
I know I watched you guys play a little bit that summer because it was like
it was over after 3 ends.
Yeah.
And then it became a clinic, and they helped us out quite a bit, which was nice. And they just said, all right, well, let's help you guys with some, the shot making, some strategy, some other things. And so that's one of the things I love about curling, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is that, everybody's willing to, and when you're on the ice and you're competing, step on the other opponent's neck, that's fine. You take them out.
You try your best.
Right, that's okay.
Try to win the game, yeah.
But also, too,
No, you don't humiliate people. You help if it's clearly one-sided. You help the other team.
Right,
you
of
talk
course.
to them,
and so we learned a lot from that, which was great. And I think they were from like Montreal or something. This team was from, and they were just.
Who threw that beauty of a last shot draw for?
That is red. So that is Nutmeg. And
that is who's that down there in the red?
Oh, Tom Leonard.
Tom Leonard with a
very nice. About a 1 foot from the button.
Yeah,
that was
not bad
very
at all.
nice. Mike Ope approves.
Yeah.
So that's a nice, usable corner guard right there. If that's not guarded well, that's pretty easy to remove that yellow rock from play. Right?
Yeah, it's
not
interesting.
terrible,
That red
right?
rock's in a pretty good spot. Even without hammer for red, that's a very usable rock. You can do a lot of things with that. You could get rid of that yellow. It also takes away some plays on your red, which is a little deep. Could be a steel rock, but is a little deep, so it's nice to have something that helps take away some plays on that. Yeah.
Now, my strategy would be to, at this point, you're yellow, clear some guards, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you're still in very good shape. You're up one with hammer. It kind of feels bad. You've been kind of in control. You get up with deuce, okay, but you got to realize you're still in control. Yeah, keep things a little bit clean. There are draw paths. It's not that you can't draw here, but I think I would agree.
Well, because if you don't execute the draw, you don't have enough weight to clear the guards out, and you're going to put more junk in front of the house.
Yeah.
Now this looks like a pretty good path. Okay, so this is a nice rock he's through. Very nice. Good weight.
Maybe just a little down from what he wanted, because that's just going to sit.
Yeah, it's unfortunately not going to be shot rock. But
now, early enough in the end, and yellow has hammer, it's not so bad to have two rocks sitting second and third. You're going to have to find a way to get rid of that red in the back at some point, but you could give yourself a commanding lead the way the end's setting up if things work out well. Red could come behind their other guard guys just off the center, or they can play on top of those. I mean, it's still early enough.
I mean, shrinking the scoring zone at this point, which just looks like, I think he's trying to just block that draw path again.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's fine too. I kind of do like going around. Your guard is off the center line, but it's not way off the center line. You can get into the 4 foot behind that guard, I think. And you probably want to steal here. Or force. I mean, you're in good shape. Either one of these calls makes sense, because you are in good shape here. You're in good shape in a situation where there is a little bit of danger now because of those yellow rocks. But make sure you get through there. You can just touch the yellow guard. It's pretty good. This looks real good.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, that's going to corner that nicely too.
Yeah, I just bounce off, but
Okay.
yeah. Now the only danger here is that you might be able to go right through and double this, which is what he's going to try to do. You hit it on the belt on the nose. You're gonna double them, and then yellow's in a great spot.
Yeah.
So you didn't want to get that bounce. Gave a thumbs up to Alex R for his victory over there on sheet A. Sheet B is a 6-1 game.
So
now.
yeah. So Team Burkhart stole again in the 5th end, so they're up 6-1.
Yeah.
It's a field goal through.
So yellow on B certainly has the opportunity to get back in the game a little bit here because they have. Well.
So it looks like they're going for the run back
Oh
hit.
yeah, they're trying to roll right through this hole, double those reds, and be in a commanding position to
He's
make
through.
this. And it's close. This is real close. I think he got it.
Very,
That's a nice
very
run double.
nice.
Beautiful shot. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That changes the entire complexion of the end.
Yeah. Now red in trouble, and given the scoreboard, I mean, you can
Yeah.
play this and try to double. I think you probably need to draw around.
Yeah, I mean, just
Yeah.
put it underneath there at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hitting
yeah.
your way out, it's going to be very hard to give up less than 2, and then you're in some trouble if you go 2 here. So good throw there.
Well
on B.
done.
Yeah. I think they called for a guard. You really don't want a guard with hammer down. But you'd rather get another one in. That's hard to get rid of, so they did a good job there on B. But yeah, in this game, so he may be playing. There aren't enough rocks left that you can certainly hit. But like drawing around, there are like you're hearing the commentary.
No, it's just my traditional greeting
Oh.
from Professor Tim Oakes.
Ah, yes. All right, so he's going to come around. Yeah, you don't have to come around right away, but you can. I think it's either come around or you're trying to make it double. So this is
Sweepers are off of it, so
big.
but
Well.
this on this side it tends to grab a little
yeah,
bit.
especially if you're not playing, and people tend not to play that side
Yeah.
because it runs a little straight.
And that is just
And-
not having local knowledge, because normally members of Nutmeg know that coming off the board on C,
It's going to run a little slow.
it's going to run a little bit slow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and they're going to try to play. Yellow's going to try to play a little hit and roll here and sit 4. You make this, you are really in trouble if you're Broomstones here.
yeah.
Like you're gonna, not that. I mean, you're out of the end because there will be ways to remove some rocks and maybe open up a path where you can sit behind something again. But you're gonna be in some trouble. This is
Yeah,
pretty
this
good.
is,
Whoa, I think they were maybe oversweeping a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna roll. It'll stay in the rings, just outer, maybe not.
Just barely, I think they're
May
good.
roll back.
Yeah, they should be on the rings there.
Oh,
That's on
boy.
the rings. That's definitely on the rings.
As
Yeah.
one of our members is so fond of saying, Broomstones is in a spot of bother right now.
Spot of bother. I thought it was gonna be a Craig Stefan quote that rock has teeth. Now the only thing is because they didn't roll that way, Broomstones now can bury
They
something.
can bury,
and that
yeah.
is the only thing they have now, unless you, with too many yellow rocks in the rings to start removing them at this point late in the end, and no real easy doubles even. Is it a little big? Do they go?
I don't know. It's a little bit big. It was a great line, but just a little bit heavy. I mean,
it's got to. If it
unfortunately,
for
boy,
4th even.
no.
No, I think that's out of the rings. It's actually like probably a measure for 4th.
Yeah, that's
And not what they were looking for, of course. Yeah. You probably either want to get buried or just a touch behind if they can get just even a corner under the
So
guard here.
What can't happen is Triangle can't put this on the tee line and expose that. They have to guard against.
Yeah.
That would be a dream shot for Broomstones if
Just-
they were to be heavy.
A freeze to bail them out of the end would be all they ever wanted. Yeah, you really want this high in the house or completely buried, one or the other. I mean, either way, you got to be above the tee line, but either completely buried or because this is going to give him a bailout shot.
Oh, that's going to give him a shot for a hit and roll underneath.
Yeah,
That
is
is
what he's going to call.
Yeah, that's very close to the what I was saying can't happen, right?
Yeah, the only thing that helps a little bit, and doesn't mean it's not a makeable shot. It hung out so far that it's a bit of a roll. It does have to be somewhat precise here.
So this is a gift for Broomstones right now, and if what's the skip's
Dylan
name?
Wright. Dylan Wright. If Dylan Wright.
Yeah,
can
so
make this,
I mean, if he can
this
execute
roll.
this and just hit and roll underneath,
Yeah.
there is.
You're still gonna have shots back, but they're gonna be a lot harder than the end
Yeah,
is right now.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you can put something anywhere under those guards.
This is the nature of curling. It changes each
Absolutely.
shot. I mean, it.
Even at the highest levels, you get things like this where it's like, if you can make a great shot, you can flip the end. Ideally, I think you'd like a long roll.
This is all on the sweep call for the vice.
If you want a long roll, this is gonna. This side just runs a little straight. It is moving. There's not a lot of weight on it.
He has them holding the line now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to get enough roll.
That's the problem
though.
is with the weight. He didn't have
Yeah,
the weight to really move it. You had to hit it thin at that weight.
So he is shot rock temporarily.
So now the order of the day here for triangle. Obviously, you want to hit this rock because it is shot rock. You have to hit this rock. But
rolling either way,
yes,
right?
Exactly. You do not want to be on the nose here. You either want to roll all the way out to the wing. Even rolling out's fine given the number of rocks you have in the house. Or you go under the pile and then. Yeah.
Right. Ideally, rolling under the pile. Really.
Yeah,
I
not
suppose.
far either, because you don't want to like leave the draw open again. Like if you rolled all the way to the other side, then they can maybe bury something. But yeah, you got to roll like a foot to the left on your screen, and what would be a foot to the right on your screen? Sorry, it's a foot to the left. Us looking from the warm room. Yeah. Foot to the right would both make it hard to remove. Would take away that draw for Broomstones.
You know, interestingly, because the weight was what we would call down weight on that hit, they could have allowed that to curl more and catch more of the inside of the rock because it wouldn't have rolled as far, right? So
Yeah, you don't need to. You didn't even need to. Like if it was down, you didn't even need to really remove the yellow. You needed the roll was the most important thing. So.
Well,
Now this is outside. They're gonna have to get contact at least. They will. They're
pushing it. It's
get
hard.
some
It's
curl.
hard to see here.
I
don't
think they're gonna get. They missed it.
Oh
Yeah.
boy. Okay.
I was about to say if they touch it, it might be worse because I kicked it
So
under.
I think
but yeah.
you have to call a guard here, don't you?
Yeah, or put a second one in because that'll pretty much shut down the end too. It's your option. Now the problem with the only thing with the guard is, and it would be very hard, but there might be ways to get to that red rock even if they throw a guard, which then you're risking giving up, 4 or 5. It's tough, but
Well, that's a.
it's tough to get to there. You're right.
Oh, is he trying to take away the?
You probably want a second one in that's not there where there's no double. I mean, if you're right next to it, that leaves a double, but like just above or just below.
Could you play a draw that comes down in corners and then rolls off of your
I
own
think that's
rock?
fine too. Yeah, I think you play it like D-line. If you're a little heavy, you can.
Oh, we're joined by
Stacey's gonna
Stacy.
say
Stacy,
something,
would you like to jump on?
No.
I'll just comment.
Sure,
Okay.
that's fine.
Every call from the warm room is the right call.
Absolutely.
So it looks like the call here is to throw like a back, like T-line or just be beyond, maybe back 8 foot, and then just catch the center line side of their own red rock and roll underneath, and then be sitting 2. And what's good about this
Yes, you can't lose
is
your
that
red.
this is the same rock twice in a row. So he essentially just threw this rock.
He did. You can throw it a little, just a little bit
Right,
lighter.
but knows the line. The sweepers
They don't
just
need
saw
to go
this.
unless it's heavy. If it's heavy, they need to go. But if the weight's good, then they can go. They can be okay because they're by the guard, no problem.
Yeah, this is a good rock.
Yeah, and they won't. They're gonna play it nice and soft. Get a little bit of a roll. Okay, deep enough. That's good. I was afraid they're gonna hit it where they're gonna leave a double. That's not. Now,
Yeah. Well, he can
There is
still
a
go
double.
through the port there and still hit the yellow, and then, but
Yeah,
then
up to
it's just
him.
for one, right?
how aggressive you want to be, because you can get those reds out with a lot of weight. You hit the outside of the one the 7 rock, and you can get both. But and you'll spill. You will spill. You'll get 3 or 4 if you make the double. Which shot? Run the center yellow, or the double on the red?
So what I like about that, the shot that just
It's not about. I think you'd come under, but it's close. Yeah, I think you have to hit a little. You don't have to. You can't hit it quite thick enough, but it's close. You might catch a You might catch a piece of it, but you probably, if you catch a piece of it, you're moving the yellow enough that that yellow's not counting anyway. And I think that yellow's out counting the back red. It is very close, but I think yellow is.
That shot.
I think yellow is 3, 4, 5, 6 right now, but it's pretty close. So that's what they're looking at, because you're just about putting the game away if you ever make this. And if you at least make contact, you know you're giving up one at worst. So.
Well, they're definitely sitting 3, 4, 5.
At worst, they're 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Right. But they're putting triangle in certainly a much more difficult position than they were in 4 rocks ago.
Yeah, if yellow needed to score
Even
here,
2 rocks ago.
If
really.
yellow needed 1 to score to win the game, they'd probably play this little yellow tap in the center. But it's not easy because it's like partially under the red guard, and you could easily give up 2 by just touching one of the guards. So I do like this because the downside, if you're close, the downside is giving up 1 because you'll.
I mean, this has the feel of either tie game or not putting it away, but
being in
being in a very,
position.
very good position.
Yeah,
It feels like one way or the other only, right?
Yeah.
So rock is off.
Set it out, and he didn't.
It looks narrow.
Narrow, he's on the red.
So it looks like he's in the
all
guard.
over the red.
Yeah, he was way narrow.
Okay.
And that will still be 2 red, so even more.
Wow.
That flips the game a little bit.
It
Now
does
we've
flip the
got-
game. So I heard cheers from Massachusetts. Just went up on that one there from the watch party.
They're dancing in Wayland.
Broomstones. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it does sort of look like a church inside, right?
It
so
is.
there's a little bit
It
of
is.
excitement going on.
From what I know, it is a prefab church that was converted into a.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the story I always hear anyway.
Don't know if it's true. I mean, inside certainly has that look, and
It sure does, and I think it is.
it's a
correct.
great club with a great heritage and great members and
Yeah.
excellent ice. Love to play at Broomstones.
Yeah, you want it to be wide, if anything, to make sure you get one out. Got pretty tight on that one, unfortunately.
So this looks like he's going for they're tapping the head, which means it's hot. That's a universal signal for
for too much weight.
Throw out the anchor. Too much weight. But now they're sweeping, which means the ice potentially from what the front end thinks it is and what it actually is very different. They called it hot, 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 and then they had to jump on it. So
ended up being about right. Yeah.
Right about this time, the pebble's breaking down a little bit. The ice, is changing a little bit.
No, thank you. We're getting
We're getting
compliments on our radio announcer voice.
Yes. So.
So I just want to give a quick update for both sheets that are still broadcasting. It is now 7-1 in favor of Team Burkhart on sheet B, going to the 7th. And here on sheet C, we have a very exciting game. 5-4 in favor of the Wright rink out of Broomstones over the Parham rink out of Triangle, but Triangle does have the hammer in the 7th, so 2 close games coming down to the wire. If you ever want to watch both, just throw up a second tab in your browser.
Yeah, that's
open
wonderful.
up another.
Yeah. We don't have a multi-view like some streams do, right?
No, not right now. But yeah, you have the 2 options and watch both games still going on. All right, so
that's it's not bad because you can double out those reds if you'd like.
Broomstone's looking like they want to play this end pretty safely, though. Like you're up 1, if you force, you get the hammer back in 8. You probably don't want to let them blank, but other than that, you're.
Well,
I mean, that's not the end of the world if you do, because
right.
you're up one. But
Well, your website is called Chess on Ice.
it is called Chess
right?
on Ice.
And so, why don't you explain to
YouTube
the
channel, yeah.
viewing public why you call it that?
That's a nickname, a common nickname for curling, and I am also. Before I took up curling, for a very long time was a pretty competitive chess player. Played in a lot of tournaments and all that. Clubs here in Connecticut and elsewhere, and yeah, so I made a channel that started out really fully devoted to strategy. Now I do a lot of different kinds of videos based on curling, but still do some strategy stuff. Yeah, so it's yeah, so that's my YouTube channel. The Olympics was a big driver of traffic, of course. We now over 7,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. Yeah, so we're
And we call it Chess on Ice because a lot of times, just like in chess, you're playing many moves ahead.
You try to, yeah.
And even though things change, you're still preparing and you're playing moves ahead, even on on ice
Absolutely.
as well, right? And like in chess, chess pieces are removed from the board of play, and rocks are removed from play as well.
Yeah.
So there are no pawns, of course. they're all of equal value.
yeah.
At
At least they start that way. Yeah, some of them will suddenly become very important. But no, it's and actually a lot like and chess is actually the same way. If you feel like you're the person in the lead, you're going to be happy to trade off stuff and remove stuff from the board. And that's the same with takeouts often in curling. If you're in the lead, you're happy to get rid of the rocks, get rid of material. We'd say in chess. And keep the game simple, because in the end, in this case, you have more points. In chess, you'd have more stuff left, and you're probably going to win the game. But here, yeah, the only thing you have to worry about if you're Broomstones, and they're in pretty good shape not to worry about it. Although there's a double here. It's too early to say that. I shouldn't say they're in pretty good shape, because there's a corner guard, and a blank or two is what Triangle wants. I'll put it that way. Any other result is absolutely outstanding for Broomstones.
Yes.
Those results aren't bad for Broomstones, but that would make Triangle happy, because they'd be right in the game. The only thing that would really make Triangle ecstatic would be a 3 or more.
Right, and talking to a bunch of different skips throughout my time, there's a split belief and desire up, going to the 8th end,
Down one
with hammer, up one without hammer.
Yeah.
And each skip is going to be comfortable with the different scenarios.
Absolutely. And you look at the numbers, and if you play extra ends, it's a slight but very slight advantage, which is why it depends on what you're comfortable with, to just be up the point going in the 8th. But we're not playing with extra ends.
No.
And when you're in a league where there's no extra end, it's just skip rocks or nutmeg knockouts, some kind of shootout, or even a tie, like we do on Tuesday nights and Monday nights, I think, too. In that case, I like being down one with hammer, because you don't have to worry about being without hammer in the extra end if you score one. So that takes away what is kind of the advantage of being up one without. So in this case, yes, they probably would be very happy if they could ever put together a blank. Be fine with a deuce as well, would also be pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, and Broomstones is setting this end up. It appears, I think they're happy currently with the way
they're
setting
in
this
pretty good
end
shape
up.
for a force right now. Which they'd be very happy to go to the last end with the hammer.
And tied.
And
right?
tied with just needing one to win. Yep.
That was an unfortunate miss by Triangle. They missed the hit, spilled, and left Broomstone's rock just touching the, right on the line between the 8 and 12 foot. And so now it looks like Broomstones is calling for a draw underneath their center.
Yeah, changing
rock.
Changing gears a little bit now with now they have 2 in, they can put a 3rd one in and really threaten to steal even, which again would put them in a very good position if they
So I had referenced the clock earlier, and so it just went to 0. And so the way that the clock works at this event is when your time is expired, you finish the end you're in and you play one more.
Correct.
And so both the games on sheet B and sheet C are in the 7th end. So they will both can go 8 ends. Whether they do go 8 ends or not
is yet to be determined on B. We're almost certain that it's going to
shocking
go
for us not to get an eighth end here on C.
on C. That's
Yeah,
right.
no, both games were played at a pretty good pace. They were ahead. You kind of keep an eye on that if there's something you have to talk about. And there never was, because they were well ahead of the deadline to get their sixth end finished to play 2 more.
Yeah, having played with your own team clock, I've done that a couple of times. It's a very, very different feel to play when,
of course.
when you have your own clock.
Yeah.
You're responsible for your own time, and you're always paying attention to the clock all the time. When you're playing one clock for both of them, it's really kind of on the skips. They're paying most of the attention.
Right.
To the clock.
Yeah. We when I played competitive stuff where we had the clock in 4-player curling, it was usually had one. I didn't mind because, again, doing other stuff like chess, which was always timed, I kept an eye on the clock, but most teams would have like one of the front-end players be responsible for that.
Well, it's in your face as well.
It
I mean,
is,
it's
yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to miss that clock, you know.
Right.
So, and at the end of each end, you have, you know, a minute
after you clean
in
their act,
between,
a minute,
and so you're always paying attention to
Absolutely.
the clock.
Yeah. So that was a miss for Triangle, but not an awful one because it did leave them sitting third. Something to keep an eye on, that yellow rock out there. If Broomstones doesn't make, you know, it puts a deuce or more in play. If Broomstones doesn't make their shots, although that's a very good guard.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So right now they shifted gears, and so now Broomstones has their eyes set on a steal.
Absolutely, yeah. Now that rock is behind the tee line, so they're looking at, can we maybe get a deuce here just by going to the center?
Mm-hmm.
Mike Hope approaching.
Hello, Mayor Hope. How are you? We're doing well. Well, there's a great.
Well, we have a great game here on C.
It's well played too, front end to back end.
Absolutely.
You know, all the players they're playing at a really nice level. And for those that don't know, on sheet C and it's being learned here, is that it tends to fall off a little bit toward the wall, and that's what happened on this rock.
It just didn't get the curl they wanted.
Yeah, for Triangle, it just didn't have the curl. It just stays a little straight on the board side.
And that's the danger of playing that rock, is that you can absolutely do that to try to get your deuce.
So now it looks like
now Broomstones comes top 4, you're in a lot of trouble.
I think they're trying to really put the hammer down here if they
absolutely.
can, even though they don't have hammer. That's what they're trying to do.
If you could ever get a steal of 2, though,
Yeah.
you would be in excellent position
yeah,
going
they
to
would be very
the
happy
8th
with
end.
that. So.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many different clubs we have represented at this location, but I believe it's got to be.
I have the spreadsheet. I can kind of try to.
It's quite a number, actually, right? I mean, we have just on this ice here. We have Albany, we have Schenectady, we have Broomstones, we have Triangle, we have Nutmeg. We had Nittany Valley. So that's 6 different clubs right there, just on the ice right now for these matches. I think there was one from Plymouth or something as well, right?
Yeah, I've got 16 different clubs from the 24 teams that are here.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That
Probably, you add a couple more. I'm sure it's probably closer to 20 or 22 total if you added Ardsley.
Okay, so that's a bit of a miss. That there is an open draw still.
Yeah, really
for
the same
Triangle.
shot as before. You just got to take a little less ice. Because they have made draws on this side, but you can't get wide.
Is there a cough button?
No, but I can just turn you down.
Did not want to cough in the listener's ear.
No, absolutely not. No, that's how thoughtful of you. Not sure if on the mics there's anything. Yeah. It's not on the wire, which is where you would think it would be, so I don't think so. Yeah. But anyway, we solved it. All right, big draw coming in here for Brian Parham from Triangle. Because if you make this, you could potentially set up a deuce if you draw top 4 here. Still wouldn't be an easy one because
Showing a lot of weight.
I feel like it's a little big. Is your feeling from seeing?
Really got a curl.
Line's pretty okay. If it'll ever get over. Here it comes. Yep, looks pretty good. It's a little big, as you said.
But it is going to take the red scoring
you can hit
rock
and
out.
roll the corner a little.
And rolls. And so now he's sitting first and fourth.
Yeah, if he had ever moved that to where it was out of the rings or at least the second yellow out counted, then suddenly we'd be talking about Broomstones being in some trouble. I think Broomstones is not going to give up more than 2 here, no matter what.
It looks like it's an in-turn hit.
You got to be careful here. It will bend a bit more towards the wall, but they're not that close to the wall, so you might be able to hold it straight on this line.
So for the listener that's uninitiated, what we say about in-turn and out-turn is it's the movement of the elbow, if you will. And so if the elbow moves in toward the center line as you release it, that's an in-turn, right?
In towards your body, yeah.
In towards your body, and if it sort of chicken wings and goes out, it would be considered an out-turn. And that's the rotation that you're putting on the rock as well.
You should really do neither of those things with your elbow, but if you exaggerate the curl, the turn, then that will show you.
Well, the idea
what
here is visually that's what's happening, right?
Exactly.
So that's the idea here is this is a clockwise rotation.
Pretty significantly.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. If they let it go, it might overcurl just enough where
just don't think there is a run, but it's close.
It might actually.
Was it going to get a piece? Almost.
It was very close. Very close. So
it was hard to get by that other yellow to get to the yellow. Now it's just a draw for 2, right?
Well, and actually, the unfortunate part is that opens up the draw even
now
greater.
You even have your backing on your yellow if it doesn't curl.
And so
enough.
now this changes the end again, and so now Parham has a chance to go up 1.
Yep. Which is a tremendously better spot to be in than scoring 1 here.
That's right.
Or you'd be getting up the hammer with
So as a left-handed curler, which I am, and
I also
you are as well. I noticed at the Olympics there's very few left-handed curlers that I saw.
Yeah, I mean there were a few. Mark Kennedy, famously, very outstanding curler.
He gave the world the finger. That guy.
He did. That guy.
Right,
yeah. But there were not as many as I would expect. There weren't that many lefties. I think there was at least a thing at some point where people.
This is. Well, he may catch enough, but it doesn't appear so.
It's gonna be close to nose. Really close. It might just hang on. No, it's going to turn away.
Okay, so that is a big sigh of relief for Broomstones there. Just forcing, which is, goes from stealing to forcing, but now they're tied with hammer. And so conventional wisdom says you should score with hammer.
Yes, that's conventional wisdom. Yeah, I think at this level, I think until you get to pretty level, it's probably like 2 out of 3, though. Yeah, hammer team will score usually. 2 out of 3 ends, even at like club play. So. Yeah, definitely a big advantage. Not like playing top 10 men's in the world where it's 90 to 10. But
so what's interesting is they're tied, and so there's an extra dimension here that Triangle would be very happy with, which is a blank.
Yeah, that's funny. Triangle would technically be perfectly happy with a blank. Have seen it, but not what anyone's looking for. But I have seen it.
Not at all.
So we did have a final in Sheet B. I don't know if they ran out of rock. They didn't post a score for the 7th end, but it was a win for the Burkhart team out of Albany over Hughes and Schenectady. They're throwing their last shot draws right now just to set up there.
Yeah, there's no update there. So
no, they didn't. Mikey didn't update the score yet. That's okay. Well, they didn't update the score on the scoreboard either. So.
Right. Okay.
But Mikey can call it a final at some point.
So Broomstones is electing to go into the house immediately behind the guard.
Yeah.
So, race. I guess a race to the button, if you will. Get into the scoring zone quickly. This is going to appear to overcurl, which is going to hit the guard, but it's not because it's not touching the center line. As long as it's not removed from play, not a problem.
Yep. Now, they would have been really happy if it kind of split the rock, to leave yours on the center is not ideal.
Right.
But
and that's the reason why they put the center line no tick rule into effect, because the professional curlers were so good at ticking the rock, a center line rock, and moving it to 2 corner guards.
I mean, very hard to steal.
In fact, they called it the Weagle because
the Weagle for Lisa Weagle.
Lisa Weagle, who perfected it, right? And so they to make it a little bit more challenging.
Well, you make it a little more. You're making it a little easier to play without hammer in the late ends when you're down, when you have to steal, because you can get a center guard up that can't be removed.
So now this is touching the center line. It appears, although it's hard to tell from this angle.
So from there, I am going to say, ooh, that's actually really close. They'd have to decide.
So if we assume that that's touching the center line, that cannot be removed from touching the center line. It can be moved slightly,
out,
but it
out of the house and on the center line, you can move it. But yeah,
this rock looks a little bit big. Sweepers are saying safe.
Don't kick your rock. Oh, they kicked it back. It was on the rings. Maybe it wasn't actually on the rings.
But
it's like, yeah, this one's a little big.
And so now the next red rock for Broomstones, they can hit anything they'd like, which is probably what they will.
Yeah, they'll start trying to open
do.
it up. When you're only trying to score 1, you just got to get rid of whatever's on the center line.
Right. And so from a standpoint of strategy and ease of scoring, the more open the front of the house is in the middle, the easier it is for the team with hammer to score.
Yeah.
Because it allows them an open draw or an open hit.
Yeah, there've been. I mean, some
Guards
people
are not their friend.
Some people have questioned the no-tick rule. Like, club level. I can tell you, even at the high end of the club level play, you were starting to see more and more teams able to make the tick at a fairly decent amount of time. It was good to, and it punishes you if you happen to touch a guard in the center. Yeah. They can put it back, which is very helpful.
Not every league at our club plays a no-tick.
No,
the competitive league.
And the Monday Night Men's League, I think. I think that's about it.
As well.
Bond spiels, though, are mostly turning to it now when you go playing spiels. Not everyone, but it's turning into. I mean, it is. What is interesting is it is now a rule of curling. You actually have to say if you're not using it, not if you are. If you don't announce anything, it's assumed you're using it now at this point. So time to blow up some stuff here.
So Brian Parham is feeling a little jovial out there right now. He's got a little lightness in his step. If
yeah,
you saw
he's got
that.
3 good guards up.
He's very happy with the setup currently, and I would be too if I was in his position.
Yeah, surprised they're not hitting something.
It looks like if this draw behind these guards can be executed, it's a great play.
It's pretty good if you make it. It's early enough in the end. I'd be, concerned that yellow can make a run or something. But yeah, I'd probably be peeling here. Now the argument against peeling, there are so many rocks out there, and if you're not a team that's comfortable making any double peels or anything, you're never going to stop. Yeah.
This is a nice play, right? I mean,
it's okay. It is behind the tee line. Not good with the hammer. Yeah, you don't really want it there. Now, what he should do is draw. You can save that run for later or other stuff. You don't need to open it up. Yeah, exactly. You want to draw down to that. Now, if Triangle gets that rock on to the red rock, Broomstones will have to peel because they're going to have to open this up in order to score at some point in the set. Yeah, good draw to the top of the button or right onto the red is really dangerous for red. Well, this looks maybe a little big.
This is where a good front end will really reward
a
team
let it slow
if they
down.
can judge. Yeah, unfortunately. So
just going to be too big.
It was a really good line, just too hot on the way.
Yeah, if you look at where it stops, when it actually does come down, it's about 10 feet big or 8 feet big, but it would have been right in front of, go to
Now, do you like this? Another just come down and.
At this point, yeah, you don't want to guard, but you gotta. Your rock is not great in the back of the 4-foot, so if you go top 4, though, you're in great shape.
And he just threw this, so it's essentially just take a little bit off. Which is it's easier said than done. Throwing essentially the same shot twice.
Right.
They say is the hardest shot in curling, right?
I would say anything that gets around that yellow is pretty good. If it's in front of the yellow, you're not that happy because, they make one angle race or they draw around and now you've got a ton of yards to deal with. This is pretty close. Might be a little big. Not the worst if it touches it and moves it further back either, because at least then you're not leaving that freeze right to the button. So not what they were looking for, but
no.
So still, it now comes down to this: will Triangle make that freeze in there, or a draw on the inside of that red? And if they do, they're probably going to be able to win the game.
If they hit and roll underneath, yeah.
If they don't, freeze or hit and roll, anything that, if you count and you're in front of those reds, you're making it really hard on Broomstones. If you don't make it and Broomstones ever get something in the top 4 or top 8, like something that makes it hard to make this shot later, that means suddenly the triangle's in trouble.
This looks pretty good.
Close. It needs to curl just a little. Here it comes. You got to get it there, though. You don't want to be short. Got to get it there. Oh, this is going to come up.
Oh.
Just short. Now, 99 times out of 100, I tell people you might as well use this 100% of the time if you don't know what to do. You just leave it alone. You don't guard the center with hammer. Maybe here even you don't, because everything's behind if your rocks were in front of the button, I'd probably, you can. Practically speaking, at this level, this might be the shot. Just
to guard
and live with giving them. The problem is they're going to have this angle raise that kills you. Your guard's in the way if they ever make it in. But
well, we've said it.
There's also a tap on the yellow here. You almost have to guard a little bit to the outside so that you don't let them have that angle tap in on that yellow. So you have to be careful where you place this if you're going to guard. But I think practically a good guard here, even though it's not textbook, makes some sense as you're getting later in the end.
Well, I've heard it said many times on the ice, you can't take every shot away. So you take away the highest percentage shot, right?
A little early in the end is my only concern. And that if they make something, you are just, Like he's even looking at it, can we get to that rock?
Not going to be easy.
And he's not happy, and they're going to play this right away. Like maybe they might be looking at that angle.
And if that's not executed, you're playing not your last bullet in your gun, but you're
running out of bullets.
You're running out, right?
You got 3 shots, and you probably have a few different rocks you can try to throw in here, but that's the only danger, and that's I think the danger that teams run into when you throw a center-ish guard with hammer, especially with your rocks behind the tee line. That early in the end is that each of these shots individually is hard, but if they get 3 shots at it and they make 1, you've just guarded your own way back in with hammer. So and he wasn't happy with I should say Dylan wasn't happy with that shot either. They definitely wanted, while they wanted to guard, they wanted that red deeper in, not cornering that yellow where it makes it really hard to get back in if something goes wrong. He wanted to leave him with a hard shot, but still have ways back in, which he kind of doesn't have now.
Okay. Well, it looks like this is Stevens first, right?
Hanging out a little. Here it comes. Yep, they got to go. It might be a little light. Again, they might just be light.
Yeah,
the line is really good, but it's just
they are light, yeah.
Because that would have been perfect if they had the weight.
And that changes every angle too.
Yeah. Now it's a double run instead of a single, or the one in the middle is tough now because of that. Yeah. Yeah, what are you most afraid of at this point? You've kind of committed to guarding now because you don't really have anything else. You're not going to, Yeah, so...
Yeah, you have to say, is that double raise the most dangerous shot? If it is, you have to...
Yeah, the one they just threw is still there. It's a tricky double raise, but it is still there. So they're going to talk about it a little bit. We do have a barn burner here. Yeah. They're also looking at that. There is that port where if you just made contact,
So if you could if Broomstones could come down and just sit in front or just corner that rock that was just thrown, it takes away any kind of a raise.
Yeah. And I have an idea for a shot back for yellow if they do make this, but it's a little creative. I mean, if they
this way.
Oh no, it's not a shot to immediately get to the reds. It would be a shot for setting up your last, which would probably be.
Thus the chess analogy.
Just
right?
a chess analogy, yeah. A little tricky, a little.
All right. Well, the last vice rock is off. Sweepers aren't doing anything with it.
No.
And I think
it'll be okay though. I mean, it's just going to make it like a triple instead of.
Well, it changes
triple.
It
takes away anything in the port too.
It changes everything now.
So my call here is the red yellows that are staggered on the left side of the screen or the right side of the screen if you're watching. Left side of the screen here on for our viewers as well.
Yeah.
I think you blast them now if you hit inside of the red, move everything around. You'll get access to your yellow, and you'll have access to the reds on your second shot. They probably won't be able to guard everything. If you try to make a shot right now, I don't know that you have a shot right now. It's realistic. But if you get rid of those 2 rocks, you might even spill it. If you hit the red yellow, your yellow will come off your center guard. It might even spill back into the house.
You're saying what triangle should do right now?
Yeah, the red yellow there on the left side of the.
Because you're setting up for.
Sorry, the right side of the sheet. If you're watching on the stream.
So what Parham is doing is setting up for his.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing
rock,
that.
right?
He does have a second option, which he's not. He's going to try to make something right now. He's going to try to get around and just.
Well,
tap
what he's
that
trying to
yellow
do
in.
is get around a corner and just move it in toward the button, right?
Yeah.
But
So, Ardsley update. Chase Miller was down 7-0, and now it's tied 8-8 in the 8th.
Wow, big comeback. That's a Dykes classic. So yeah, I think if you move those red yellow, you may even get your yellow to spin off the center line yellow and come back in the house.
Well,
you'll definitely open it up, give yourself some opportunities. This is makeable, but very hard.
Because you have to corner it with enough weight to move
it
about
3
3
feet.
feet.
Yeah.
And not hit the red guard.
Yeah.
so
Now, if you just chip the red guard, you're moving things the wrong way because you're going to leave the red. This is closer than this is close, but you got to get by the guard. They're pushing it to curl and they're curling it right into the guard.
Yeah, that changed
that
that whole angle you were talking about.
Well, now it doesn't matter because now the only thing is it did open up. All right, there are going to be shots for yellow, but not easy ones. Yeah.
I think you have to guard that.
I think at this point you do. Yep, I would agree.
Because that that yellow raise is there now, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this, hopefully the viewers are enjoying this as much as we are.
Oh, it's been a great game. Absolutely.
Because this is a really high level of play, great strategy, a lot of thinking, a lot of good communication, good front end play, excellent sweeping. And it takes quite a while to begin to understand judging the weight from a front end standpoint.
Oh, sure.
For those that are watching, they may have heard the name Kevin Martin, an all-time great from Canada. Yeah. He had come here and gave us a clinic a year or so ago, and one of the little nuggets of information he had given to us on front-end play is that he felt it best for one front-end player to use a stopwatch and the other front-end player to watch the rock delivery.
That's always been my advice, too. I think that's just, it makes so much sense. You're not getting much out of the second time.
No, and because you can compare and see
but
if you're
that's
close
like,
with
then
one
you're
another.
wasting a lot of energy, like kind of comparing and
So the other way is, one's watching the delivery, was there positive put on it? Yeah. How's that? Because, and then use all that information to be able to properly judge the weight of the rock, because that's the sole, the sweeping and the weighting, judge weight is the sole responsibility of the front end. Let the vice or the skip worry about the line call.
Well, yellow still have a shot here.
That is not ideal
because
for
they
Broomstones.
ticked that yellow. Because they ticked the red guard over an inch or so. I think this yellow tap is a little more makeable now.
It is. It's not fully exposed,
but you moved it an inch or two, which is a lot in this case because now you can hit what you see and you have a chance. I was going to say on the last shot, because you're talking about all these things the front end needs to do. The last shot for Parham, they just touched that guard, and you had to be so close to the guard to make the shot. That's an experience thing, and that is a hard call to make.
Very hard.
Yeah, I know the Vice was obviously unhappy with the what happened, and I'm just thinking in here I feel bad because can empathize, and still happens, and especially if you're a 5 and under, you haven't seen enough rocks to be that confident within a quarter inch, which that one probably had to be. Now you have a little bit of wiggle room. Now you get by the guard by 2 inches and you might make the shot. Still not easy. I'm saying 2 inches. That's not a lot, but at least you have a chance. Final rock away for Brian Parham.
This has to move.
I think it has a chance. I think this is pretty close. This is very close. Oh, no, it is outside. You're right. It was close. Near the curl up another couple inches. Wow. That'll be a deuce in the final end. A steal of, 2 with the hammer for Broomstones.
That was a great game.
Dylan Wright, who will come away with a 7-5 win. Yeah, that was a great game. Had a great time watching and commentating with you, Paul. That was
well, Ed.
Exciting game. And hey, we got another draw tonight. So I don't know if I'll be back, at least not for the whole game.
I don't know if I will be. I'm
certainly going to watch the action. I recommend everyone else do too. So.
All right. Well, for Ed Simia, this is Paul Douglas signing off. Pleasure having you all, and have a great night.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Well, we're all right.
Alrighty.
I hope the warm room was entertained.
That was a great match. Appreciate it.
Yeah, let Alex put it in first. We're going to long game.
It's a little more now. So this been taken off the late game.
Yeah, Hard, guys.
I don't think you can hurt it.
Nope.
Definitely can't hurt it.
Nope.
All right.
Keep going.
Number 73, baby.
I remember you asking
We're not trying to get in the house.
How did you throw that earlier?
I did, unfortunately. That was actually my last stone I threw.
That was on purpose. Who's throwing the last? Team Wright.
The lead.
Sorry, the lead.
He owes us a counter.
He does. It's not going to make a difference, I don't fear. You want me to keep it?
Sure. Counterclock.
All right, Alex. No pressure, but I think it'd be cooler if you didn't touch hand at this point.
Solidarity.
I mean, at this point, I want to force a tiebreaker DSE for the other team that put them up front.